Hi folks, you're with Tacitus today, your pushback channel, and thank you for joining this radio, audio, no pictures live stream. In this essay, I'd like to talk about something we've all heard about, the long march through the institutions, how the radical leftists and the LGBTQ and the globalist cabal machine and all this sort of stuff, how they managed to infiltrate and permeate and subvert all the Western institutions, whether it's movie making, news, current affairs, politics, law, the public services, you name it, the NGOs, the whole thing. So I just wanted to talk about that. Now, there was a TV production that's gone in Britain, that's gone sort of over the top, super woke in a most ridiculous and silly way, and it's not working out so well for them. But one of the group of creators, producers, writers, all the people that go into sort of making these shows, did an interview a while ago, and it was by an obscure sort of leftist magazine, online magazine. I think it's somewhere in New York, and it kind of never really got looked at. And I came across it somewhat by accident, and stopped to look, and I just saw a couple of keywords as I was sort of surfing by, and I looked and this was a very candid admission from this guy that he joined a drama club when he was 14, and in this drama club there were older men, men in their 20s and 30s, and he was able to have gay sex with these older men. And now you'd think that would be an international headline, like gay groomer men take advantage of young boys or something like that, but there's not even a hint of it. It hasn't. No one's even touched it or looked at it. If the reverse were the case, and it was a straight white guy having intimate relations with a 14-year-old girl, international fucking headlines, politicians would be screaming, justice departments would be throwing resources at it. We've got to get those fucking straight white fucking oppressor Nazi and put them in prison where they belong, those motherfuckers. But when it's sort of gay, now there was sort of if you like, a sidebar to that article where it was said, well, it's not really anything wrong with this because gay people don't have the same social power as straight people, and it's just two people with minimal social power. Gay people, it's just two people with minimal social power. Remember, this is all determined ideologically. It's who's to say what social power is or isn't? But so the 14-year-old gay boy and the 26-year-old gay drama teacher or drama coordinator, whoever he was at this drama school, which is like an out-of-school hours thing. It's something that's done after school or on weekends and so on. So because they both don't have social power, it's therefore kind of equal, and it's therefore nothing really wrong with it. But if it's a straight white man who has social power and he's having intimate relations with an underage straight white girl, then she doesn't have social power. Therefore, it's oppression. Therefore, it's evil. Therefore, it's Nazi. Therefore, it's Hitler. Therefore, it's... So they go through a very different ideological sort of process of justification, where one is evil and the other is quite acceptable on the basis of presumed ideological concoctions of what social power is. I mean, fuck. So that just goes to show the two-tier justice system in operation again. So there's no outrage over this. And here's a guy brazenly admitting at his age, he's at 14, when he was 14, he's now, I don't know, in his 60s or something, that he was having gay sex and went to the drama school, not to learn drama or become an actor or anything like that, but because he could get gay sex. Anyway, that sort of came, and I didn't sort of think a whole lot about it. And I didn't think it was really worth a video, so I sort of passed over it. But in this production, this particular series of productions, it wasn't just one, series of productions, there's a few names came up, and lo and behold, they were all at drama clubs at around the same time, within a few years of each other, and all were having underage gay sex. And so these drama clubs were as in my opinion at least, incubators for underage boys to have gay sex with overage men. Again, you would think international headlines and outrage, but no one's even interested in touching it. Again, if it was the reverse, the straight white men, then it'd be, it would be an international, there would be a crescendo of news, but no one's touching this, strangely. Anyway, so these different men are around, and these clubs, drama clubs, are also receiving government grants that's administered by a particular public service body, and that public service body also acts as, if you like, talent scouts for one of the major government-funded media organisations in Britain. And wouldn't you know it, that these young gay people being moved through are all straight away given jobs in this big broadcasting organisation, and they're put together as a gay activist cabal, and they're being handed well-known franchises to rewrite in a radical activist LGBTQ progressive mold. And all of them have been terrible failures, by the way, but who cares? That these are effectively professional propagandists. Now they exist. They are all, they're married to these men are all married to their husbands, and they're adopting black children, and they live in a particular suburb of the city, which is renowned as the gay epicenter of the country, let alone the city. And so they live in this very tight public servant, gay lesbian activist bubble, but they've been radicalized, and I would argue, in my opinion at least, groomed from the age of 14 onwards. And so they're churning out this very radical leftist view. Now, they have some radical views that they're oppressed people, even though they're on highly paid jobs for life. They've still got this strange view that like a woman who's been divorced 5 times, has got 5 waterfront mansions, who insists she's oppressed and a victim and so on. These people have that same mental architecture of what oppression is and what it means and how you identify it. And the culprit is always, the cause of it, the problem is always straight white males. And then if you throw Christianity or something on top, that as well. So they've certainly been radicalized, a very narrow view of society. The enemy is the straight white male, and we have to flush out their evilness. So if we take a well-known and very successful franchise that's been built for straight white males, or built for primarily a straight white audience, and we tear it to pieces, destroy it, humiliate it, fuck it up, insert black lesbians at every juncture in the show, then what we're doing is we're showing those evil straight white men, we're in charge here, and we can humiliate them however we want. And this is an act of humiliation that they can do nothing to stop us tearing their heroes to pieces, and show them that we're the bosses now. They oppressed us for centuries. Now we're going to show them, and so there's a lot of vengeance and petty spite that goes into it. And of course, a lot of imaginary monsters under the bed type attitudes to things. Now they're taught that the church being against homosexuality is one of that's how the Christian thing feeds in. The straight white males, the Gentile straight white males being in the majority. I don't think any of these people were Jews. This cabal were Jewish, by the way. I think they're all Gentiles. But anyway, out of this group, I noticed that this group came together to do shows about, say, gay, like a gay hippie commune somewhere. Now, I mean, hardly anybody watched the show, and it was an absolute waste of time and money from a commercial perspective. But it struck a blow against straight white Nazis, and as they would, these, because they've now become ideological fanatics. They've been separated from all reality, and from the age of 14, living this fantasy of drama clubs and the like. So that fantasy bubble that they lived in then has sort of continued on. They've just moved into a bigger public service department and get paid a lot of money for acting out their vengeance fantasies. But one of the shows, by the way, I had a quick look at it. The scripting seems quite good. Now they've made it for gay people. It's about gay people. This particular production, that these gay guys, they've made it for gay people, a gay audience, and or gay guys made it, and I've got no problem with that. I don't care. I mean, gee, I'm going to go for it, guys. Make as many gay shows as you want. But as he admits in the interview, that it didn't have the social change traction that they wanted. They're not about entertaining gay people or entertaining anybody for that matter. They're about social change. We must do change. We must change, because the world is awash with Hitlers everywhere, Hitlers, and we have to change. We're fighting back against Hitler, and they've got this rather perverse view. So you've got these people that are employed in the entertainment industry. Their job, supposedly, is to entertain and make programs and so on that people want to watch. And instead, they're consumed with fantasies of ideological vengeance. Anyway, the show about gay people, which again, from a little bit I saw, it seems quite well produced and scripted. So it also suggests these people aren't without talent, by the way. Whether the show's pitched to gays or whoever, if you can produce, I haven't watched even a whole episode of that, so I can't comment, but the bit I saw was the scripting was quite tight and the acting was believable. So, and that's on a sample of less than 10 minutes. So, in his or their view, particularly this guy's view, that it was a failure. Now it was a failure because hardly anybody watched it, and so he perceives it a failure because they didn't change minds. They're there to create social change. So what's the use of doing a show for gay people, about gay people, for gay people, if nobody watches it other than a small core of gay people, which shows just really what the audience is for this sort of production. It's very small. But his argument is that we have to use entertainment as propaganda. We must change as many minds as we can. We have to get to people, and we have to, all straight white males, we have to shame them into pointing out that they're all Hitler, and we have to encourage other people to believe they're all being oppressed by Hitler, and we're fighting their corner, and we must do that through the medium of entertainment, television, movies, and so on. Okay, so their purposes and their raison d'etre are very ideological. They're not there to entertain. I mean, if it somehow manages to also entertain, well, hey, that's a byproduct. But their primary role is to, as they see it, to promote social change at the taxpayer's expense. And it's no accident that this activist, radicalized gay cabal was brought in. I mean, this is no accident. There's no merit hiring or anything going on here. There are people at the top were signing off on this. We want radical propaganda activists to be out there pushing what is indirectly the globalist message. They were then given, this same group, this cabal, were then given a show that had developed, a following amongst the ordinary people, if you will, the 98%, and was well thought of, and it had been in the past, although the budget was tight from the looks of the older production, but it had been well scripted and passably well acted, and conceptually it was kind of fired the imagination in a very sci-fi type, sort of futuristic, if you like, sense. And So they were given this franchise. Now, this is something where it's being developed for 98% of the population. It's being developed for people that are interested in good scripts, good stories, exciting stories, good acting, all that sort of stuff. So in that sense, it ticked the entertainment boxes. It entertained. That was its purpose. That's what it did. It entertained and had a considerable following. Then they handed the franchise over to the gay guys. Now, so they saw it as a propaganda project. This wasn't a project to continue in the tradition of. This wasn't a project to let's write some really good scripts. Hey, let's put together some good stories here. Hey, why don't we do? No. This was now in their hands. This was now a propaganda delivery system. Now, but they wanted to conceal this, but we couldn't tell people that that's what we were going to do, because we were there to insert social change messages into. We were there to use it as a propaganda delivery system, and they believe they had every right to do it. We're the oppressed minority. We us in our jobs for life, highly paid jobs for life. We are the oppressed ones. Yeah, right. Okay. So they had this mission, this fanatical mission to deliver propaganda. So they had to insert gay characters and trans characters and black lesbians and feminist messages. Women are more much smarter and morally superior, and black women are double morally superior. So they went through this pyramid of victimhood where the one-legged black lesbian is the most oppressed. Therefore, we have to put them as being in charge and being boss characters and this sort of thing. It's very, very childlike, infantile. You can almost imagine the 14-year-old gay guy going to the drama school for the first time and being regaled with stories about how they're going to change the world and make gay people in charge of something. In the 14-year-old, oh yeah, oh wow, yeah. As they engage in pillow talk with a 26-year-old guy who's bonking them. So they still have held on to that 14-year-old sort of vision of how they're going to change the world and fight back against their oppressors and cast out the evil and bring Hitler to account and all this sort of thing. And they're just acting out those silly, childish fantasies in this. But they're allowed to do it. They're being given taxpayer dollars. They're being, hey, go and do this. You tell all those people out. You tell the viewing public they're all fucking fascist Nazi Hitlers. Now, if nobody watches the program because you're beating them over the head, you're doing crap acting, crap scripts, crap everything because of that, and people don't watch it, then that just proves how many Nazis are out there. And so again, they take this perverse reverse logic attitude. Well, if there are that many Nazis out there, we have to double the message. Still people not watching it, then we have to triple the message. We're in charge and we're going to make those motherfuckers bow down before the message. And this is overall the thing here. Now, I hadn't realized that these LGBTQ cabals were gathering. And when I started to go through all the producers, directors, writers, script writers, and screenplay, there's a lot of people going to making of these shows. You realise that 80 to 90% of them are radical gay activists who've just been given a taxpayer-funded platform to act out their vengeful fantasies. We're not told this. In my view, I don't care whether something's propaganda or not, as long as they tell me, and then I can make a consumer choice. We've taken a franchise, I don't know, Doctor Who or Star Wars or whatever. We've taken a franchise and we're inserting into it gay, lesbian, feminists, race hustling, the storyline, and good scripts be fucked. We're throwing it, and so that's it. And so that's the version. Now, I wouldn't mind that if that's the Star Wars feminists message version, but there's a version I can watch that isn't the feminist message, then that's fine. But we're not allowed to do that. You must watch the message, and they view that it's going to change minds and result in all sorts of pro-globalist or globalist suitable psychological change and this sort of thing. And that's kind of scary because they're doing it under the table and behind our backs and trying to do it in secret. I had no idea this gay cabal was formed, and I had no idea they had almost exactly, so that they all came from these drama clubs that were themselves gay activist incubation houses. I mean, for goodness sakes, what's going on here? You've been with Tacitus today, your Pushback channel. Thank you for listening.